My first question, Mr. Nominee, is that this country, Ghana, since independence, all of us, many governments have come and gone, and all of us have sung the same song from the same hymn about industrializing the economy of this country. Every single government have sung this hymn. But this is 2023, and we are still sitting here talking about industrialization. The data as at 2021 indicates that 30% of our GDP goes into imports. And the government had this flagship program, which was launched amidst a lot of fanfare, one district, one factory. What would you say the one district, one factory policy or program has contributed towards this long-term agenda of industrializing this country in order that we can be self-sufficient and also make savings and run a prudent and fiscally sensitive economy? Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Well, as you rightly indicate, well, that's why we are where we are. We were born in the 60s, but we knew the industrial condition of the country. Along the line, everything was collapsed. But the MPP government, and particularly current administration, is taking considerable strides, making a lot of effort the direction that you indicated. And you draw attention to the 1D, 1F program. It is fantastic. It's fundamental. It's good. The policy is to ensure that every single district has got a factory, and that is towards industrialization. As I understand it, there are about about 260 of such industries which so far are at various stages of completion. I think over 100 or so are already operational. About 150 at advanced stage of completion. You ask, how is that? What is the government intending to do, or how does that feed into the point that you make? Yes, government is making conscious effort through these flagship projects that every district takes advantage of the economies of scale, but with things that it's materials and resources that the particular district is capable of producing and effectively harnessing into the industrial development. Number one of its particular district, and of course into the general national feed. It establishes industries. If it establishes industries, it has this boomerang effect. You talked about the monetary aspects of it. How does it feed into our national budgetary system? Well, if we have the industries and they take care of the import substitution issues that I've just identified, that caters for at least part of the foreign exchange issues that we're talking about. But it's got many ramifications. These industries at the urban and the peri-urban stages would also look after the question of rural-urban migration. We've been complaining, Accra is chock-a-block with people seeking employment, which don't necessarily exist here, but they are now being restrained or constrained to their respective industry, districts and regions because of these projects that I'm talking about. Let's think about the youth. I understand from this project that some youth institutions were actually conglomerated and put in place industries which government has taken serious interest in and has advanced them with all the facilities government is able to ensure that they are successful. So I I've also indicated to you a bit about the stimulus industries, the stimulus package, and then the decision of government to also make sure that the automobile industry it's also developed. The conscious decision to invite some giant international companies to set up assembly plants in the country. The point that previously raised and articulated, the textile industries, and of course the other ones that you haven't mentioned, the Commander Sugar, the starch factories and all those things. That's really all part of the single agenda to make sure that at least, some measure of success would be attained or geared towards achieving what the President has consistently been talking about, Ghana Beyond Aid. Ghana Beyond Aid essentially is making sure that some kind of industrial revolution takes place in Ghana.
Mr. Chairman, I have a
follow up on that. Chair, would you leave?
Chairman, she's asking her question.
Yeah, Mr. Chair, Dominique agrees with the one district, one factory policy. Just a follow-up to the elaborate answer you gave. Should you become aware that investors who are taking advantage of the 1D, 1F to help Ghana industrialize are facing difficulties in the exemption regime, what would be your reaction?
I think you will ask that later. So kindly go on. This is your regular question. You have all the time. Please proceed.
Thank you, Chairman. Actually, the Deputy Majority Leader tried to preempt my follow-up question. And I will want to go back to it, but albeit in a different manner. That I can see that clearly you've apprised yourself with happenings within the ministry that government has nominated you to superintend over.
Thank you.
In your answer, you said there are 260 of the 1D, 1F projects ongoing, with about 100 almost completed. I waited to hear in your answer specific examples. If you can mention 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 factories that are ongoing, so that we know where they are. Maybe we'll require some of the products that they produce, and then you can lead us there. Thank you.
Thank you from the back. At least if nothing at all, I'm hearing from the back that my own backyard, they have the Kumfi juice, and you're drinking from the Kumfi factory. That's one classic example. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My second question.
No, that was your third question. Well,
follow up.
No, please. Yes, no.
Good morning, Uncle. Good morning, and congratulations. Just this morning, you've been confronted with two issues that your ministry is going to handle: the trade issues and the industry issues. Do you see the conflict that comes up, and how are you going to resolve it? Because you are promoting manufacture of automobiles or assembly of automobiles in the country. Fantastic policy. Yet still, your same ministry presides over bringing a lot of second-hand cars into the country. You preside over AGOA, industrializing garment making and even export of garment. And your same ministry presides over second-hand clothing imports into the country. You preside over trade aspects. You preside over manufacturing of things like TVs and things, which is being promoted, even strategic industry. And everything you preside over under industry and you want to do, you have its counterpart in trade. And obviously, the two cannot at times exist. So all the car-making companies that are coming want to extract from government, buy a certain minimum of cars before they come and establish here. So what would you do? I believe in the separation of those two ministries first. And what would you do when these conflicts come? Because in my backyard, Menchia, we have a lot of second-hand goods. It's become the center, actually, in the country of the movement of second-hand goods. And my lovely colleagues in the constituency as well. How are you going to walk that thin line?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Actually, I beg to differ. I don't accept the fundamental core of his argument that there's a sharp dichotomy between the two. I mean, there has to be industrialization to start with. But I guess having industrialized and produced all the goods, you don't hope to consume everything locally. That's the basis of industrialization. Trade, you would have to first produce the materials, whatever is it that you want to produce. But we got a very infinitesimal, very minuscule industry market in Ghana. You cannot hope to concentrate all your efforts in Ghana. So having gone through the industrialization wing of it and having produced all this, you would want to then make sure that these earn you some hard-earned cash. You then have to import those things. That is the trade aspect of it. But I see the flip side of it that he talks about, and I think that's what Patrick discussed. I mean, the second-hand, whatever. Yes, there's that concern, but I don't think fundamentally the one overshadows the other. The seriously has to be industrialization. I haven't listen, if we were industrialized and we were doing some serious job with our cocoa, we wouldn't be struggling. I mean, we'll do all the cocoa, we'll do all the natural resources. It's all agro, we take these things out, what we get in the process. So get all of them, develop them, but sell some out there. And of course, make sure that you maintain a good market. There has to be some trading. Trading all over the world, America, Britain, all these other countries, they were developed, they industrialized, they produce the industrialized goods, but they trade. So, Mr. Minister, I'm not sure I accepted its entirety, the fundamentals of your argument.